This video is made with the sponsorship of Ecrotech New Zealand, one source for all your beekeeping requirements. Hi, Trev here from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. This is now part 2 of our feed bee videos that we're doing. We've talked about what's in the feed bee, and now we're actually going to do the mixing. So Neil's got this old berry cake mixer. Not food grade anymore, but the bees are not worried about that. And so we mix a 20 kg of feed bee with about 3 kgs of tapioca icing sugar and about 18 to 20 litres of 2-to-1 syrup. That's all that's in it. And we're going to mix it up to the appropriate consistency. And we've got a crane over here because this container ends up at about 60 kilos, so it gets a bit heavy to lift. So let's put it together.
Right, there's a recipe on the wall, of course, but the procedure is our sugar syrup, we're going to put roughly half of it in the bowl first.
Yep.
Then we're going to put the feed.
That's what Mum does when she's making the bread.
Yep, that's right. And then we put the feed bee in.
Yep.
And the icing sugar.
Yep.
Then we top it up with the balance, just because it makes it easier to mix.
Yep.
And then we set this alight.
Yep.
And the mixing process takes around about 15 to 20 minutes to get it thoroughly mixed.
Yep.
Alright, first of all, some sugar syrup. Carefully measured half. Now I've got a bag here that's open, ready to tip in. Try not to spill it. This is a very fine powder, so if you're not careful it goes everywhere.
And up your nose.
Including that.
As you can see, this is not exactly a scientific method. You're just making it, you're going to end up making it up to a consistency that is okay. As we saw with the patties, so they're nice and soft and smooth.
And again, we're going to carefully measure our icing sugar. Yeah, right.
The icing sugar, remember, is to try and make the patty a bit smoother and to stop it drying out quite so fast.
Now, I'm not putting all the syrup in because I may need to adjust it a wee bit.
Yep.
And after we set it alight, we're going to find out. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating. We have 2 goes. Firstly with the dough hook that's in there now, and secondly with that, just make sure you've got a very even consistency.
Dough hook will leave it a bit lumpy.
Yep.
So now we've done the initial pre-mix, and you can see over here there's a bit of the feed bee that actually hasn't mixed up. So now we're going to take the dough hook off and we're going to put this big fella on. And this will run for another about a quarter of an hour on its own, and that'll just make that into a nice smooth consistency. We've still got a little bit more syrup left if we need to, but that's not a bad consistency already. But that'll thicken up a bit as it mixes.
Splash guard there just to stop the stuff from going everywhere while we're mixing it.
Yeah. Okay, as we discussed, at about this stage, that's in the last video we discussed, about putting extra additives in with it if you want. So one of the additives that Neil sells is this Beekeeping. And we put a litre of this in with that. It's a seaweed product.
No, this is not a seaweed product. No, this is all the lipids and extra vitamins that the bees need.
So it's got multivitamins, protein, vitamin C, antioxidants, and omega 3, 6 and 9. So, we're going to take it out of the 20 litre container. And this is what it looks like. Remember to shake it all up and give it a good mix. And that's going to go in the contents to give them just a bit extra.
It changes the colour slightly of the beer as you're doing it. Makes it darker. Because we put this in, we will need a bit more feed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As Neil just said, when we put that extra litre of liquid in, we've now made this mixture far too wet. So we're going to have to open up another bag and put another couple of kilos of feed bee in just to thicken it up a little. Okay, well, we've had about a quarter of an hour of beating this up. All nice. We've now decided it's up to its approved consistency. So we're now going to shut this down, turn it off, and we're going to remove the mixer out of here, and then we're going to pick this whole container up and we're going to empty it over into here, which is a sausage maker. Squirt around a thingy, and then we're going to show you how to make the actual patties. And this has got a rubber diaphragm underneath that pushes up and actually squeezes the product out through the top, and we feed water in the bottom to control it with water pressure. You can mix all this up with in a 20 litre container or half a 44 gallon drum or some such thing, and use your electric drill and a paint stirrer. But for this volume, that's difficult. You would need to scale all the sizes down. So yes, it can be done at home, but Neil's got the gear, and a lot of people, as I've said before, buy it direct from him, commercial guys, already in pallets, in its patty form.
So that's the brew ready to go. Now what we've done is we've poured all the feed bee mix into here. I'll just put the lid on at the moment, and this works on a bladder underneath here. And we've got water coming in, which we switch on, and the water pressure brings the bladder up, brings it out the nozzle, and we can control it with our tap here and just measure out 300 grams at a time to make a patty straight into the bags, which of course we've got here ready to go. We've found with this system it's easier to use a pie bag because we can just squirt straight in there, whereas previously we used to use just greaseproof paper, a square of it, and then fold it up.
And what I do at home, because I don't have one of these fancy things, is I use a little spatula like this, put a scoop in, put it in here, squeeze the bag closed, and scrape it off, and it gives me whatever I want. But because Neil's selling them, he wants each one to be pretty close to 300 grams.
Quality control is we are now working to 300 gram patties, which is the optimum size. A hobbyist or anybody else can make them any size they like, from 200 grams to even 500 grams. It does not matter, but we have found with the 300 gram we're getting best results, and so we stick with that.
Yep.
We've got an average size, we know what it is, and they of course are $3 each once they are produced out of here.
And 300 grams is an awful lot of pollen in a hive.
Oh yes, yes it is. and normally that will be eaten by the bees within 5 days.
Yep.
It won't be stored, it will be eaten, it's gone into their bodies, and then you've improved the overall nutrition, particularly for the nurse bees, and they are the ones that of course are feeding the larvae.
And the bees, of course, get rid of all the paper bag.
Well, they just chuck that out, it's gone. You don't even see it. Yeah.
Okay, let's fill a couple of bags up.
So there we are, that's just our first one. Let's just happen to work out there.
So we just turn on the tap.
And as you can see,
This
if I
is all
just pull it
pressurised
out,
under here.
you can see that now. And if I turn that tap on, out it comes. And we can see then that we've got 330. In that case, I was a wee bit generous. And normally we would take that out and make it back to the 300 mark. But there's our patty, ready to go.
Ooh, he doesn't want to see that.
So Jim's now going to go through and pack all this into a polystyrene box. These fish boxes hold 80 or 100 depending on how big the box is. So
We will get around about 140 patties out of each mix.
We're not getting the feel of it yet.
alright, so that's it. Pollen Patties from Trevs Bees and Neil Farrer from Apiary Services in Wanganui. We'll catch you around in the beehive.